Okay, so 6 months after I've been falsely arrested and set up by the Attorney General for felony aggravated assault on the judge, the same judge who who the Attorney General was investigating in a complaint that I had made about hacking at the court. So I made a complaint with the Attorney General about this judge. They started investigating, and then they arrested me for aggravated assault on that judge. Then they released me 4 days later and dropped the charges. Okay? That's what happened. So 6 months later, or like 8 months later, I went back to the Attorney General's office to speak to and they dropped the investigation. So I went back to the Attorney General's office to try to get the investigation going, and they tried to set me up twice in the same day. And then they came out and played games, and I'll show you what happened. So here it is.
Hello. Hey, how are you doing? I'm good. How are you? Good. I'm here to see Agent Carroll. Okay. Or his.
Did they ever call you?
Yeah, his supervisor called me. I'd like to speak with him if possible.
Okay.
Please.
Just go ahead and put the time. And then that's it. And I'll come up. It's 12:44. Just on that first one. Yeah. Cool. Go ahead and take a seat, and then it just might be a little short.
Thank you.
Notice he said, take a seat. It might be a little short wait. Now, the short wait goes on for a little while. Let's just skip to the chase. Oh, short wait's still happening.
So I called them, and the supervisor actually left today. So he left early, so I can take down your number again and have him call you again. He's literally not here. You just missed him.
Okay,
Have you talked to him, right?
Because he's literally not here. You just missed him. Okay? The supervisor's gone for the day. This is after making me wait 8 minutes.
what's his name?
Jake John.
What is
Agent
it?
Walsh.
Excuse me?
Agent Walsh.
Agent Walsh?
Yeah, that's the supervisor.
Does he have a badge number?
I don't know it. I don't have it on me. So I can take your information down, like your phone number and your name again, and then I can have him call you when he comes in on Monday.
Okay, well, he was supposed to call me today.
Today. He had to call you?
Not today.
So you haven't booked him at all?
I spoke to him yesterday.
Yesterday? Okay. Okay, because
I think it was yesterday, right? It might have been.
You were here yesterday.
Okay, then it was yesterday.
Yeah, so he did call you yesterday? Yeah, I can just, that's all I can do for you, because he's just not here.
What about Agent Carroll?
You're not allowed to speak to him, that's what I was told, that he's not allowed to speak to you. So I'm just
Agent Carroll. He's saying that he was told that Agent Carroll's not allowed to speak with me. Okay?
I don't know why the whole legal crap about it, so I can just take your information down and your number.
And that's, what if I want to file a complaint?
Then we'll assume that the supervisor, you would have to talk to him, so I can get your information.
Is he the only supervisor?
As far as I know, that's the only one that don't report to, yes.
Well,
I don't know if they have another one.
what was that supervisor's name?
Agent Walsh.
Agent Walsh? Who's Agent Walsh's supervisor?
Sir, he doesn't have the information.
Well, he's the receptionist, and actually he would know who Agent Walsh's supervisor is.
At this point, the security guard, who has nothing to do with anything, the security had already been passed. I made it through the metal detector with my keys and stuff, and was quietly sitting there. Now she jumps in and starts, so you can hear what happened.
There is, and if not, I'd like the person from SIS.
It's a different person every day.
His supervisor is a different person every day?
It's a different duty issue.
Well, you're a guard. We're not talking.
Okay, but you can
Thank
get
you.
out. You need to.
I don't need to.
Trespassing. Because you're
I
not
don't need to. What I need to do is get
Brian, go back in there and you can talk to him because you can't help him.
Yo, why? I'm asking for the supervisor of Agent Walsh.
You need to get out because you're disturbing.
I'm not speaking to you.
And you're not going to be right there.
Hey, I'd like to speak with a supervisor.
What's that?
I'd like to speak with a supervisor, please.
So what they doing? So he needs to go. They're already done.
Who's done?
They already said it's time for you to go.
Who said?
The agents.
What agent said that?
Oh. He's one of the supervisors, and I would think we can take his name down and get his phone number, and then they'll have him call him. That's all I can do. Yeah, he'll take your information, and then they'll call you.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm asking for for Agent Walsh's supervisor. For the name, so I can contact Agent Walsh's supervisor.
Go ahead and take a seat, guys.
Okay, so I was asking for Agent Walsh's supervisor, and that caused this whole problem. But now watch, I take a seat, and then so another 5 minutes go by. So let's just advance because I have to wait. I'm sitting there waiting. So let's advance the clock. Still nothing. Waiting on this clown. So I'm waiting, right? I don't know.
Hey, are you guys getting somebody?
They're coming down.
Thank you.
So I can get your information.
Is he the only supervisor?
As far as I know, that's the only one that donor reports to, yes. I don't know if they have another one.
Shit, I messed this up.
What was that supervisor's name?
We're gonna go with it though.
Agent Walsh? Who's...
So I take a seat, right? They tell me to take a seat. Next thing you know, the security guard is getting patched in. Somebody called the police. She just said, all they're going to do is trespass you. Now listen, phone rings.
I'm 50.
Oh, 50. What was that? No. We did everything we can to help him. And he's constantly trying to get stuff off my reception so I can't find information. So I told him my reception is not this, I can't help him. Yes. Yes. No.
Okay. Police hung up on the Attorney General. So that's what happened. And now, okay, so nothing happens until like 15 minutes. And now look what happens. I'm just sitting there waiting more. We already had 911 called on me, right, for asking questions. I've been civil and quiet. And originally, I was asking for this Agent Walsh, the supervisor of the Agent Carroll. And they said that he was just gone for the day. I had just missed him. And I was there because the day before, he had told me, I'd gone there and he had told me that I spoke to him over the phone. He said he was going to call me the next day and he hadn't called, so I went there. Now watch what happens. Or listen to what happens. All about to happen. This guy's a weasel.
Hello? John Walsh. Hi. Talked to you on the phone yesterday. Oh, great. How you doing? I'm all right. How are you? They said you weren't here. What's that? They just said you weren't here. Well, I was supposed to be going by now. It's my day off, and I had to come in for some meetings and stuff, so I could have been on the road by now, but I'm here, so I wanted to at least come down and see you in person since I am here. Okay? So, there's really no change from yesterday. I mean, I talked to Don, as I told you I would.
He just lied in 17 different ways. Everything he said was a lie. It's his day off. He's supposed to be gone. What are you talking about? If it's your day off, you're there for meetings? Why would you schedule a phone call on your day off? Everything you're saying is a lie. Plus, they said, the receptionist just said that they just missed you. But let's see. You're going to go on to tell more lies. But wait, let's review it.
There's really no change from yesterday. I mean, I talked to Don, as I told you I would. We've determined that there will be no investigation regarding, the transcripts and stuff. I talked to Don about what you believe are discrepancies and what he acknowledges. There's some inaudible sections on the tapes, but he said, there's nothing where it appears as though the foundation of what was being discussed has changed.
No, he actually says,
So,
no, Don
I'm not
actually,
trying to shortcut things. I'm just saying that, we've.
well, I mean, you're contradicting your own,
Well, sir, when someone comes in and makes an initial complaint, if we follow up on it, sometimes it's either founded or it's unfounded.
well, he had followed up on it.
And at the time that I've talked to him, he said and again, that's where the two of you just have perhaps a difference of opinion
Well,
on what he thought at the time. I mean,
Okay.
he said he did listen to it. He did acknowledge that there's places where perhaps, the words, where you say the words are different. He acknowledges that the words may be slightly different, but he says he can understand where someone transcribing it would possibly hear those.
no, the
words.
audio is different.
Right. I'm saying it's different from the transcript.
Well, no, the audio is, I have two versions of different audio, right? It's not a
This guy's trying to say I didn't know what I'm mistaken and didn't understand what Don Carroll was saying, Inspector Carroll. The guy said, it sounds like see you out. She's saying see you out there, and the official version says see you at 3. He said that's a problem. He said that he found it was chopped up into 14 segments. That's a problem because it's only supposed to be recorded in the audio in 5-minute segments. So you have 14 of them for 5 minutes total time. That means it's been chopped up in a bunch of segments that's been hacked. Then he also said, and there's missing data that I have that's not on the official copy. So he said all that stuff, and then I get arrested 2 days later, and they try to say that's a conflict of interest. So these guys are really lying every step of the way. But okay, of that. But go back to these guys. Would you say? Where is this thing? So he's saying that I don't understand what this guy said.
Nice, Special Agent Carroll. I'm fine. So I listen to the stuff. I'm done with all the materials. I'm going to finish up the investigation and we'll send you a notice of what the determination is, okay? Okay?
So that's what he said. Okay, that's what Mr. Carroll said in the beginning of the conversation. Then we started the conversation, and he played evidence that he said that he didn't have. So he was covering up evidence, and he played it by mistake. And then after he played it, he admitted that it sounded like "see you out there." And then after that, Agent Carroll said, we'll go to what he said.
Okay. Because
Agent Carroll said,
shouldn't the inspector tell her? That's what she's saying. She's protesting that the inspector is not telling the truth. That part was squelched. Okay, do you understand the mutual agreement? They never made an agreement to squelch it when they said, I'll see you out there. That was to talk about what they were going to do. Okay, so what you're doing is you're posing an intent on something, but you don't actually have any testimony from either one of those people is what they were saying. I don't understand what you mean by that. Okay. You have placing a lot of intent, or we could call it a... Well, we have two words. We have two separate recordings. Okay, where's the other recording? Where is the other recording you're saying was altered? I played the recording that's on my phone says see you out there. Yeah, I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the other person, the one that's called here is, indiscernible. That whole section, that 14 seconds. Well, you're able to play it back on the 14 seconds that I gave you, but that is not anywhere on the FTRs, is it? That's why I'm asking you, since you got it on the FTRs.
it's not a 14-second segment. It's a 22-second segment.
I heard them have one where it said that. And when I called them, I told them the same thing. But the point is, if it's missing from the FTRs they gave you, and those are FTRs, then that's not something that's possible. That's fraud there. Now, what's possible is that, as I explained to you, this FTR, that one of them that I looked, there were 14 separate files. Everything was chopped up.
What?
And for some reason, just that one section is missing. Okay,
What?
That to me was a problem.
That to you was a problem.
I said, what?
Yeah, no
I
shit.
don't have the section that's in this.
Okay, so why then 2 days later I got arrested?
With the exculpatory information where the bailiff is protesting that the inspector's not being honest. Right. But that's the part that you don't have, and you're wondering why that might be a crime or not. Okay, what I'm wondering is that you're just telling me is that they now have that section for you. Yeah.
He's telling me to go to the court, right? He's saying, I'm wondering, they now have that section for you. See, but he knows in 2 days I'm going to be arrested for, supposedly I already committed aggravated assault on the target of his investigation, on the judge, that I had begun to complain about a few months before that, And now all of a sudden I'm getting arrested for aggravated assault against this judge who I was making the complaint about. And in 2 days it's going to happen to me. But he's sending me to the court to go pick something up for him right now. That's what he's saying. This guy's full of shit. So now, juxtapose this 8 months. So then I try to speak to him, and he says, I can't talk to you anymore. The Attorney General said it's a conflict of interest. So he won't investigate. The investigation's over. So 8 months later, I go to the Attorney General, and I'm like, what's up? Let's get this going. And you heard what happened. They started accusing me. So then, remember, the agent comes out. So first, they called the cops on me, and she describes what happened. Didn't have anything to do with what she said happened. Didn't have anything to do with, calling anybody a bitch. Then that Agent Walsh comes out after saying they said he went home. After all that, he comes out, acts like nothing happens. Now, supposedly, back there, the security guard's telling them that I called her a bitch. Okay, if that's the case, he would already know that. And he knows they called the police on me. But he's coming out there all, hey, buddy with me, right? Like nothing just happened. Like seriously, if I'd called their staff member a bitch and they'd called the police on me for real, which is what they did. But anyway, if something real had happened, then it wouldn't just come out with me and have some civil conversation like nothing had happened. But the funny thing is, we have this conversation. When he starts running into trouble, his two superiors come out. And those guys get themselves into even more trouble. And they accuse me of calling the security guard a bitch. So I'm going to go back to that to prove that that's what was going on. That's what was going on. I'm telling you right now, that's what's going on. What's going on was what you want. You don't even think it was going on like it was going on, but it was going on, it was going on. What's it called? Gang. It's called Attorney General. No, Agent Walls. Fuck. Hang on a second. It's gonna take a second. Gotta go all the way back to it. Sorry about this. I'm a little primitive in my... I'm gonna make this slick one day. Set you motherfuckers up. Because you need it.
There's nothing more that I can do here, but you're saying that... What's your name? You're the supervisor of Agent Walsh.
Get out.
Okay. So, you just heard, last thing I heard from Agent Carroll, the guy who was investigating, was it was conflict of interest. That was 8 months ago. We couldn't talk, so I'm going to find out. They told me this guy's not here. His supervisor named Agent Walsh.
Good night. Hello? John Walsh. Hi. Talked to you on the phone yesterday.
Oh, great. How you doing?
I'm alright. How are you?
They said you weren't here.
What's that?
They just said you weren't here.
Well, I was supposed to be going by now. It's my day off, but I had to come in for some meetings and stuff, so I could have been on the road by now, but I'm here, so I wanted to at least come down and see you in person since I'm here. Okay, so there's really no change from yesterday. I mean, I talked to Don, as I told you I would. We've determined that there will be no investigation regarding the transcripts and stuff, I talked to Don about what you believe are discrepancies and what he acknowledges. There's some inaudible sections on the tapes, but he said, there's nothing where it appears as though the foundation of what was being discussed has changed. In any way.
He actually says,
So,
no, Don
I'm not
actually.
trying to shortcut things. I'm just saying that, we've.
Well, I mean, you're contradicting your own.
Well, sir, when someone comes in and makes an initial complaint, if we follow up on it, sometimes it's either founded or it's unfounded.
Well, he had followed up on it.
And at the time that I've talked to him, he said and again, that's where the two of you just have perhaps a difference of opinion on what he thought at the time. I mean,
He thought there was a
said
problem.
He did listen to it. He did acknowledge that there's places where perhaps, the words, where you say the words are different. He acknowledges that
No, we're not talking about the written
may
words.
be slightly different, but he says he can understand where someone transcribing it would possibly hear those.
No, the
words.
audio is different.
Right. I'm saying it's different from the transcript.
Well, no, the audio is. I have two versions of different audio. Right? It's not a transcript. It's the audio. I have two versions of the same conversation.
Okay.
So, and Don has admitted that Mr. Carroll has admitted that that what they said was, "I'll see you out there," and what the transcript and the other version says is, "I'll see you at 3." That's a discrepancy.
Okay. Well, I mean, I can honestly tell you that.
That's one discrepancy. Another discrepancy is 14 seconds of the bailiff's testimony was muted, and what Don said was,
Bailiff's testimony.
right.
Well, is the bailiff on the stand testifying?
Okay.
Or do we just pick up?
Okay, semantics. It's a word. What the bailiff said was muted.
Okay, but regardless, I'm not sure what the finer definitions are, but I mean, the purpose of the court transcript is to document what the person on the stand is saying and what the judge is saying. And what
There wasn't anybody on the stand. The judge
Okay,
asked the
so
question,
it was-
and the
so
bailiff
basically-
said, "Shouldn't the inspector be telling?"
It was an odd. If I was to play both sides of that argument,
Right.
I would say that that's an
no.
ancillary auditory noise in the courtroom that's not part of the court record.
Oh, well, then,
know-
how would you play the part where the FTR came back chopped up into 14 seconds?
I don't know what an FTR is.
For the record, that's
Okay.
the audio, the official audio that the court provides. So, Mr. Carroll had checked that out, and he said that's very disturbing to him that 14 seconds was also manipulated, and it was chopped up on his version that he got. Now, what Mr. Carroll then said was,
I'm just telling you what Mr. Carroll works for me.
right?
And I sat down with him yesterday and I asked him about his position on all of these topics.
Well, what happened was Mr. Carroll.
What he's told me at this point is we don't have we don't have information that would be sufficient for us to have likely successful prosecution based upon the information.
What do you mean? First of all, the server
we
was
don't have
hacked.
a case.
You do have if you don't investigate it. I agree. If you don't investigate it, you don't have a case. But the thing is, if you do investigate it, and it's easy to blame the victim or blame the person that's trying to point out public corruption with being a nuisance. That's also what's happened here. But
Set
Mr.
up.
Carroll apparently has
Set up.
police report.
Set up coming.
Excuse me, you call our security guard a bitch?
No, I didn't. I have my recording of everything that happened since I've been here.
What the fuck?
First of all, the server was
Is
hacked.
this guy for real?
You do have, if you don't investigate it.
When he
I
said, "Sir,
agree,
we don't
if
have
you
a case,"
investigate it, you don't
that
have
was
a case.
his safe word
But the
for
thing
these
is,
clowns
if
to
you
come
do
out
investigate it, and it's easy to blame the
with their
victim
lies.
or blame the person that's trying to point out public
Easy to
corruption
set that person up.
with being a nuisance. That's also what's happened here. But Mr. Carroll apparently has in the police report.
Excuse me, sir, you call our security guard a bitch?
No, I didn't. I have.
I'm calling
my
you a bitch.
recording of everything that happened since I've been here. 20 minutes and 57 seconds of it.
Okay, I'm not saying you don't have a recording. I'm asking.
So, has anybody said that?
Yes, you did.
Okay, well, I have the recording of it. So
Yeah, she
would you
did.
like to hear the recording played back? How long ago did she say
No, right?
that I said that?
really don't want to hear
I've not
I bet
said
you don't
anything
wanna
to
hear it.
your person about any kind of derogatory statement whatsoever.
But if I was going to call
But
somebody
that's
else,
another false accusation, right?
Well, we asked you if you did. We didn't accuse you because if we were accusing you,
Well, she apparently.
Can you let him finish what he's saying first?
Well, no, he's only saying
if
that
I was
because
going to
I
call
haven't
somebody a
recorded. If I
bitch,
didn't
it'd be
have
you
it
three.
recorded, it'd be.
I got news for you. Record all you want.
I will.
Feel free.
Thank you.
Feel free.
Okay, so you've determined that I didn't call her that?
What I did was I asked you. I haven't determined anything.
Okay, so then
I've
we're
asked
done,
you,
and
you denied it.
right.
No, we're all done. You're going to leave the building.
So
we can do for you.
are you a?
Sir, what we're telling you is that the information that you provided to us has been looked at, it's been analyzed, it's been discussed, and it's been decided that
But that's
there
really-
is no.
So wait a second. If so, then that means I manufactured. Wait.
No, it doesn't mean that at all.
Well, it would
means
because
there's not
there's two.
sufficient
No,
information
we
for
have
us to do
two.
that,
We have.
So we're done.
No, we're not done.
I'm done.
see, that would mean, since I have two versions, right? I'm accusing the court of doing it, so that means that either I did it or they did it, right? If they didn't do it, that means I did it. He's saying that wouldn't mean that. He's a little weenie, and his little friends are weenies too, but they think they're done. We're not done.
Done? Are you done? I'm also done.
You.
Are you done? I do believe that we are done, as I stated previously.
But I said it first.
So,
Well, do you have a supervisor?
yes, I'm the chief. That's me. I'm the supervisor. I'm the chief special agent responsible for all agents in the state.
Who's your supervisor?
Chief cocksucker.
Okay, can I speak to him?
No, you cannot.
Why is it funny?
It's not funny.
What part's funny here?
You're smiling.
Well, because there's
Listen
fraud
to this
going
weenie.
on, right? There's public corruption and fraud upon the court,
Well, I can
and
tell you this,
also
sir.
a hacked.
Wipe
Hang on
that
a second,
shit-eating
wait a
grin
second.
off your
But I
face
have-
right now,
look,
bitch.
And we
No, I
determined
have
whether there's
evidence.
like
They left both copies on the server. I recorded both copies. Therefore, I have proof beyond a reasonable doubt that it happened. The only thing is, I can't
I will
take
tell
my
you that
personal.
our office.
You've determined that I didn't call her that.
What I did was I asked you. I haven't determined anything.
Okay, so then
I've
we're
asked
done,
you,
and
you denied it.
right.
No, we all are done. You're going to leave the building.
so-
we can do for you.
Are you a?
So you notice they're saying, see, they already had it predetermined that they were going to come and kick me out. Even when they found out that, then they asked me, they were trying to accuse me of calling her a bitch, right? Then they found out I had it recorded, so they couldn't use that. But they still end up telling me that I had to go. The meeting's over, but their only reason for coming out there was because they were saying I called the security guard a bitch, supposedly. But it was after that guy said, we will not be prosecuting this case. That was his safe word, is when they came out with that to try to arrest me again and bring the police in again. They'd already called the police on me. And this is the third or fourth time they've set me up. Okay, I've been to jail twice because of these scumbags. I'm going to set you up, scumbags. You can fucking bank on that.